Still believe these? For longevity myths that could be holding you back. Have you ever been sitting with a group of friends your age, sipping tea, or maybe walking through the neighborhood park, and someone says, "Well, we're getting older now, there's only so much we can do"? Maybe they shrug it off like it's just a fact of life that once you hit a certain age, everything is supposed to go downhill. And maybe, deep down, part of you starts to wonder if they're right. Is it really too late to feel energetic again? To wake up feeling good in your body, excited about your day, or even just genuinely strong and capable? The truth is, so many of us have grown up hearing the same things about aging. That it's normal to slow down. That aches and pains are just part of the package. That we should take it easy. That we shouldn't lift too much, move too much, try too much. And even though we've come a long way in understanding human health and aging, some of those old beliefs still hang around quietly shaping the way we see ourselves, the way we take care of ourselves, and even the way we dream about our future. That's why this conversation matters. Because some of the ideas we've believed for decades, ideas that were passed down from well-meaning family, friends, and even doctors, are actually holding us back from living our best years. In this video, we're going to talk about 4 common myths about aging and longevity that many people over 50 still believe, and what science is really saying today. Because it turns out, growing older doesn't have to mean growing weaker, slower, or sadder. It can actually mean growing freer, wiser, and even more vibrant if we know how to take care of ourselves with the right mindset and habits. Let's start with one of the biggest myths of all, that longevity is mostly about your genes. You've probably heard it before, maybe even said it yourself. My mother lived to 92, so I'll probably make it that long too. Or the opposite, my father passed at 65, so that's probably my fate too. But what if I told you that your DNA is only a small part of the story? Studies from the world's leading longevity researchers, including those who've spent years studying people in the famous blue zones, where people routinely live past 100, tell us that genetics account for only about 20 to 25% of your lifespan. The rest? It comes down to how you live. That means the food you eat, the way you move your body, the people you surround yourself with, even your mindset, how much purpose you feel when you wake up in the morning. All of these things play a bigger role than your genes. You're not locked into a destiny just because of your parents' medical history. In fact, with the right habits, many people are now outliving their parents by decades. That's not just encouraging, it's empowering. And yet, if you still believe the myth that it's all in the genes, it's easy to feel helpless when it comes to your health. It's easy to think, why bother? But here's the thing, every walk you take, every vegetable you eat, every laugh you share with a loved one, every time you get good sleep, those are not small things. They're choices that send ripple effects through your body and brain, helping you age more slowly and live more fully. Now let's talk about another belief that sneaks into conversations all the time, the idea that once you hit a certain age, exercise becomes dangerous or unnecessary. How many times have you heard someone say, "I'm too old to be doing all that gym stuff," or "My body can't handle movement like it used to, so I'd better not push it"? It sounds cautious, even smart. But that idea can actually be far more harmful than helpful. The truth? As we age, our bodies need movement more than ever. Not intense, punishing workouts, but intentional, gentle, consistent movement. Things like walking, light strength training, stretching, dancing, swimming. In fact, regular physical activity is one of the strongest predictors of longevity. It keeps your muscles strong, your bones dense, your balance steady, your brain sharp, and your heart happy. It even supports your immune system and reduces your risk of depression. One study published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine found that even people who started exercising in their 60s or 70s added years to their life, and not just more years, but better ones. More freedom. More energy. More days doing the things they love. So if you've been putting off movement because you're afraid of getting hurt or thinking it's too late, I'm here to tell you, the best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is today. And it doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need fancy gym memberships or intense routines. Start where you are. Walk a little farther. Stand up and stretch more often. Try something new: Tai Chi, gentle yoga, or even gardening. The goal isn't perfection. It's progress. It's showing your body that you're still in partnership with it, still invested in what it can do, still curious about how good it can feel. Now that we've touched on these two powerful ideas that genes don't dictate your future and movement isn't a threat but a gift, let's take this even deeper. Because there's another belief that many of us carry without even realizing it, and it's been silently shaping the way we eat, sleep, and live each day. You've probably heard this one before, maybe even from your doctor or a well-meaning relative. As you get older, your metabolism just slows down. That's normal. And so, over time, many people begin to accept that weight gain, sluggish digestion, or low energy are just part of getting older. But here's the twist: while it's true that metabolism changes with age, the idea that it inevitably grinds to a halt and there's nothing you can do about it just isn't the whole story. What science is showing us now is that your metabolism isn't doomed to decline. In fact, it's remarkably adaptable, and much of what we used to blame on aging is more about changes in muscle mass, diet, and movement patterns than age itself. Your body's ability to burn energy is closely tied to how much lean muscle you carry. And guess what? You can build and maintain muscle at nearly any age. There are people in their 70s and 80s who lift light weights, do resistance training with bands, or even just focus on bodyweight movements like squats and wall push-ups, and they're seeing improvements in strength, mobility, and energy. When you preserve muscle, you support a faster metabolism, better blood sugar control, and even more stable hormones. And with those come clearer thinking, better sleep, and that wonderful feeling of lightness, like you're not being dragged down by your own body. So, if you've been feeling tired lately, or like you're gaining weight more easily than before, don't just assume it's your age. Instead, ask yourself, am I moving enough? Am I nourishing my muscles? Am I eating real, whole foods that support my energy? Small changes like adding protein to each meal, getting in a bit of strength training twice a week, or even walking after meals can make a noticeable difference. And they add up faster than you think. Now, let's address a myth that's often rooted in love and good intentions, but can quietly limit your quality of life. It's the belief that rest is always better than activity when you're older. You know the kind of advice I'm talking about: don't overdo it. You need to rest more now. Take it easy, you've earned it. And yes, rest is important. Our bodies absolutely need time to recover. But rest isn't the same thing as stopping. And sometimes, when we overprioritize rest, we end up becoming more sedentary than our bodies are built for. We sit more. We move less. And ironically, that makes us feel even more tired even though we're resting all the time. Have you ever noticed that strange paradox? That the more you sit around, the more exhausted you feel? That's because your body is designed for motion. It thrives on circulation, on the movement of joints, on the oxygen flow that only comes from activity. When we're too still for too long, our muscles begin to weaken. Our bones get less stimulation. Our cardiovascular system becomes sluggish. And all of that adds up to more fatigue, more pain, and less confidence in everyday movement. That's not the future you deserve. Instead, think of movement as medicine. Not in the sense of doing painful workouts or forcing yourself into strict routines, but in the sense of listening to your body and choosing to move in ways that feel good. Maybe it's a daily walk with a neighbor. Maybe it's dancing to your favorite old song in the living room. Maybe it's gentle stretching in the morning while your coffee brews. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It just has to be consistent. The beautiful thing is that your body responds to these little signals. When you move, you boost circulation to your brain, which can help with memory and focus. You also trigger endorphins, those feel-good chemicals that lift your mood and calm your nervous system. So while rest has its place, don't let it replace your joy of motion. You're not too old to feel strong. You're not too old to feel alive. In fact, these years can be some of your most powerful because you're moving with intention, not just out of habit. And if you've been dealing with arthritis, back pain, or other conditions that make movement feel hard, know that science is on your side here too. Movement, done the right way, can actually help reduce pain. Water aerobics, Tai Chi, gentle yoga, these are all proven to improve joint health, flexibility, and balance, especially for older adults. And the bonus? They also give you a sense of community and purpose, which are just as essential to longevity as any vitamin. That leads us to something that may surprise you. One of the most powerful things you can do to live longer isn't a pill, or a workout, or even a diet. It's connection. Human, heart-to-heart connection. Because no matter how well we eat, or how active we stay, if we feel lonely or isolated, especially as we age, it quietly affects our health in ways we don't always see at first. Chronic loneliness increases inflammation. It raises your risk for heart disease and cognitive decline. It even affects your immune system, making you more susceptible to illness. But when you have meaningful relationships, even just one or two, something amazing happens. Your body relaxes. Your nervous system calms. Your brain lights up. You laugh more. You feel safer. And you heal faster. So if you've been putting off calling that old friend, or if you've been feeling like you don't have as much social energy as you used to, that's okay. Start small. A weekly phone call. A walk with a neighbor. A community class or volunteering opportunity. It's not about being the life of the party. It's about having people who remind you that you matter and reminding them in return. And here's the wonderful thing, connection doesn't just extend your life. It enriches it. It adds color and texture and warmth to your days. It reminds you of who you are beyond your aches and pains, beyond your age, beyond your routines. So now that we've explored how your body and your spirit respond to movement, muscle, mindset, and human connection, there's one final myth we need to unravel. It's one that hides quietly in the background of all the others. And for many people, it shapes the entire way they approach aging. There's a quiet belief that lives in the back of many people's minds, especially as the candles on the birthday cake grow in number. It's the idea that once you reach a certain age, it's too late to start making changes that matter. That your habits are too set. That your health is already on a course that can't be changed. That you missed your chance to start over. This is, without question, one of the most disheartening and misleading myths about aging. And if you've ever caught yourself thinking, well, at my age, what's the point? I want you to hear this loud and clear. The point is your life. Your quality of life. Your ability to laugh, to love, to move, to wake up each day and feel proud of how you're living. The point is that it's never too late to feel better than you did yesterday. Science supports this in the most hopeful way possible. Research has shown that even making positive lifestyle changes in your 60s, 70s, and beyond can dramatically reduce your risk of disease and increase your overall longevity. It's not about undoing the past, it's about reshaping the future. Whether it's quitting smoking, improving your diet, sleeping better, managing stress, or finding new sources of joy, your body still listens. It still heals. It still adapts. I once spoke to a woman named Lon, who started walking every morning at age 72. Before that, she was dealing with knee pain, poor sleep, and low energy. Nothing extreme, just the kind of decline that sneaks up quietly. But something shifted when she decided to try 15 minutes of walking a day. One small habit. She did it at her own pace, with soft music in her ears and a wide-brimmed hat shielding her face from the morning sun. And you know what happened? Within 3 months, she was sleeping better. Her knees hurt less. She started smiling more. Talking more. Dreaming again. One habit, just one, started a ripple effect in every corner of her life. So if there's a voice inside you saying it's too late, answer it with a single action. Drink one more glass of water today. Step outside and breathe deeply for 2 minutes. Turn off the TV a little earlier and get ready for bed with calm and care. Write a note to someone you love. Eat something colorful and fresh. These aren't small things. They're seeds. And seeds grow, no matter when you plant them. And if you're worried that it's selfish to focus on your health now after years of caring for others, of putting family or work or responsibilities ahead of yourself, let me gently remind you, Your well-being is not a luxury. It's a foundation. The stronger you are, the more joy you can give to others. The more energy you have to share. The more presence you can bring to your relationships. Prioritizing your health is not selfish. It's sacred. So what can we take from all of this? We've challenged the idea that genes alone control your future. They don't. Your choices carry more weight than your DNA. We've redefined movement as a joyful, vital act, not something dangerous or optional. We've shown that metabolism isn't doomed. It can be supported, strengthened, and revitalized at any age. We've talked about the healing power of connection, how having even one meaningful relationship can protect your body and your mind. And now, we've shaken off the heaviest myth of all, that it's too late to start fresh. Because it's not. Right now, you are standing in a moment of choice. You can choose to see your body not as something that's breaking down, but as something that's still fighting for you, still responding, still growing, still capable of so much more than you may have imagined. You can choose to see your age not as a limitation, but as a strength. As a badge of all the things you've lived through. And as a springboard for all the beauty still ahead. Maybe no one's ever told you this before, but let me be the first. You're not too late. You're right on time. You have today. And today is full of possibility. So what's one myth you've believed about aging that you're ready to let go of? Share it in the comments below, not just for you, but for someone else out there who might need to hear your story. We're stronger together. And if something in this video made you feel a little more hopeful, a little more sane, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. That way, you won't miss future videos about living well, aging with joy, and embracing life at every stage. I'm so glad you spent this time here. And I hope you leave with a little more belief in what's still possible, because truly, your most meaningful, powerful, vibrant days could still be ahead of you. Wishing you strength, peace, and a heart full of purpose always.